In the early 1990s, a group of Russian Su-27 fighter jets arrived in China. At the time, it was a significant arms deal, but few predicted how profoundly it would reshape China's military capabilities. That moment marked the start of a long, complex relationship between Russian defense technology and the People's Liberation Army, one that continues today in ways both visible and subtle. While China now manufactures advanced stealth fighters, aircraft carriers, and long-range missile systems, several key pieces of Russian military hardware remain active in the Chinese arsenal. These imports, some decades old, continue to serve in critical roles, offering reliability, value, and hard-earned battlefield credibility. Among the most enduring of these is the Mi-17 helicopter series. Operated by China's Army Aviation Corps, this family of utility helicopters includes multiple variants, from the Mi-171 transport model to high-altitude versions like the Mi-17 V5 and V7. Some have been modified for command, rescue, or electronic warfare missions. The fleet's longevity owes much to its mechanical simplicity, low maintenance demands, and rugged performance in difficult environments. China once considered importing Mi-17 production lines, but a cost analysis led to a different conclusion. Russia had built tens of thousands of these helicopters over many decades, driving down unit costs. In contrast, establishing domestic production from scratch proved more expensive than importing the fully built aircraft. As a result, the Mi-17 remains a staple of Chinese Army aviation and is expected to fly well into the next decade. On the ground, Russia's Tor-M1 short-range air defense system, known in China as the Dawei IM-1, plays a critical role in defending against low-flying threats. Compact and fast-reacting, it was designed for frontline protection against cruise missiles and aircraft. China imported over 20 launchers, along with supporting command systems at the battalion and company levels. This allowed for seamless integration into the country's existing air defense network. Before China's HQ-17 system reached maturity, the Tor-M1 filled a vital gap in low-altitude defense. Although newer domestic options are now available, the Tor-M1 continues to be used in exercises and reserve deployments, underscoring its lasting operational value. The naval sphere also reveals the legacy of Russian imports. In the late 1990s, China commissioned 4 Sovereign-class destroyers, referred to locally as Type 956. These ships arrived with powerful supersonic anti-ship missiles capable of striking targets over 100 kilometers away, making them a formidable force in their time. Although China has since developed cruise missiles with ranges exceeding 4,000 kilometers, the ships themselves remain in active service. Many of their systems have been gradually upgraded with domestic technology, extending their utility until at least the early 2030s. Beneath the surface, the Kilo-class submarine has played a foundational role in China's undersea warfare capability. Initially, China acquired 2 Project 877 models, followed by 10 more advanced Project 636M variants. These diesel-electric submarines offered superior stealth and endurance compared to China's early domestically produced submarines, such as the Ming and early Song classes. Even with the introduction of more modern vessels like the Type 093C nuclear-powered submarine, the Kilo class continues to patrol regional waters. When these submarines were delivered, China also acquired the 3M54E Club missile system. Although the export version had a reduced range, its design inspired China to develop the YJ-18, a long-range anti-ship missile with a reach of over 600 kilometers. Naval armament innovation did not stop there. China also imported the AK-176 76mm naval gun and subsequently improved its systems. The result was the domestically produced H/PJ-26, known for its robustness and operational reliability. It has since been installed on a wide array of vessels, including Type 054A frigates, light frigates, amphibious landing ships, and even Coast Guard cutters. With close to 100 units in service, the gun has become a key component of China's maritime force structure. The most transformative impact of Russian imports may have occurred in the air. The delivery of 76 Su-27 fighters in the early 1990s marked China's first leap into fourth-generation combat aviation. These were later supplemented by more than 100 J-11 fighters produced under license. Together, they helped the Chinese Air Force move beyond its dependence on older platforms such as the J-7 and J-8, bringing it into the era of modern air combat. Next came the Su-30, a more versatile fighter with ground attack capabilities. China purchased around 100 of these jets. They introduced precision strike capabilities and active radar-guided missiles, allowing the Air Force to conduct beyond visual range engagements for the first time. These aircraft became central to the development of China's air combat doctrine. By the mid-2010s, China acquired 24 Su-35 fighters, which offered further performance improvements. However, by that point, domestically produced aircraft like the J-16 and J-10C had matured significantly. The Su-35 served more as supplemental assets than as game changers. Still, the cumulative effect of these acquisitions, totaling 200 Russian fighters, was instrumental in shaping the current air power landscape. Large aircraft also saw Russian influence. Before the Y-20 transport aircraft became operational, the Il-76 served as China's primary strategic airlifter. These aircraft have been used for logistics, and some have been converted into KJ-2000 airborne early warning platforms. Others serve as aerial tankers in the Il-78 configuration, supporting long-range fighter missions and force projection. Perhaps the most strategically significant Russian imports lie in long-range air defense. From the S-300 PMU to its PMU-1 and PMU-2 upgrades, and more recently the S-400, China has purchased dozens of battalions of surface-to-air missile systems. These platforms, along with their advanced interceptor missiles, formed the backbone of China's national air defense for many years, especially before the widespread deployment of the indigenous HQ-9. These systems have been deployed to protect critical regions and infrastructure, forming a multi-layered defensive network. Some are expected to remain operational through the early 2030s or beyond. There are other areas where Russia's imprint remains. The AL-31FN engine, for instance, powered early variants of the J-10. While China has made strides in engine development, complete independence has not yet been achieved. Certain support equipment, such as aerial refueling pods, also continues to rely on Russian technology. As China's domestic defense industry matures, Russian-built platforms are slowly being retired or replaced. The early Su-27s are dwindling in number. The aging destroyers and submarines are gradually stepping aside for newer Chinese models. And yet, the unmistakable sound of Mi-17 rotors still echoes over training fields, a sonic reminder of a bygone era. These systems once played a pivotal role in bridging the gap between outdated legacy equipment and China's emerging high-tech force. Though many are now nearing the end of their operational lifespans, they helped elevate the PLA to where it stands today. In the not-too-distant future, China's military will rely almost entirely on domestically designed and manufactured systems. But the story of how it arrived there cannot be told without acknowledging the vital support offered by Russian hardware over the past 3 decades. These systems powered China's transformation, and for a few more years they still quietly do.